So you're at the place where you've already had a couple of conversations and your prospect or your client is saying, yes, I want to move forward and I want to make this investment, but then they're dragging their feet. If you've ever been in this place, this video is going to give you 3 things on how to use urgency to close more deals. What's happening, Sales Ascender? Sean here, back at you with another high-ticket tune-up. Today is Wednesday. Hope you're having a great week this week and closing lots of deals, or at least lining up your calendar, or maybe stuffing your challenge with new members, or your virtual summits, or whatever you're doing to grow your business and help others to make an impact. I hope you're having a wonderful week this week. Today, I had a great question come in from Yesenia. Let's just jump right into it. She says this. She says, Sean, how can I push urgency to make a closed deal pay earlier? And if you're excited about this, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications and all the good stuff. But let's just get into it. This question came from Yesenia. I think it's a great question. And so what I'm going to do is just walk through 3 things that I believe will completely and utterly transform this if you've ever had this happening in your world before. So how can you push urgency to make sure a closed deal pays earlier? Well, Yesenia had been speaking with a prospect, and the prospect had said yes multiple times, and she figured out that they had the budget to afford the services. Everything was a go, but the client or the new client was just dragging their feet a little bit. How do we fix this? Well, the first thing to do, if you're in the conversation, right? What we call it the clear future, right? So I'm just going to use urgency. Step number 1 is called the accountability calendar. So if you're finding yourself in this place where your clients or your prospects are dragging their feet and they're not making investments with you, use an accountability calendar and make sure to tell your client about this before you get off the Zoom or the phone or even in the messages. So it sounds something like this. So we've gotten all the way through. We know they're a good fit. They have the budget. We understand their buying process. We can solve their problem and make a big impact so they can move forward. They said yes. They said, let's go. And then they said, I'll send the payment soon. Most traditional salespeople at that point would stop, say, great, talk to you later, and hang up the phone. But the pro sales professional or the sales sender would say something like, okay, great. Well, just so I'm totally 100% clear on this, we're all a go. And by the way, when should I expect to see your initial investment come through? Do you need a day, 2 days, a week? What kind of timing are you looking at? And they're going to give you some sort of a clear future or an indication of when they are going to make an investment with you. And then you say, okay, great. So what it sounds like is then you're going to make the investment by Friday. If I don't hear from you by Friday, should I go ahead and just send you a message on Monday and get them to confirm that that's the right move? And when they say yes, you say perfect. And then make a note in your CRM or on your calendar or whatever. And you need to be responsible as a sales professional to follow up that way on your accountability calendar. So if they do not make the investment by Friday, we move to number 2, which is the follow-up Monday move after the Friday they said they were going to invest. And what do we say on that one? We say this. We say, hey, John, didn't see the investment come through. Is everything okay? That's all you have to say, because he knows and you know that they're supposed to make the investment. And then if they go dark and they still don't pay you, and now we're in this place where they're like, they're a great client. I was kind of expecting them. Your team's all kind of prepared for this. This is where we move to stage 2. So using urgency part number 2 is if the accountability move on the calendar didn't work and it went through the one fail safe, you hit them up, is everything okay? They still don't respond. Wait about 48 hours, 72 hours, and then reach out again saying something like this. You said, hey, John, my team and I were excited to get started with you. I know we talked about getting started last Friday. Obviously, that date has slipped. My team actually built a window to make sure that you get onboarded correctly and moving forward in the right direction. And that window's actually run out now. So I'm just kind of curious, like, what should the timeline be, or what should I tell my team and what can they expect? I've now taken all the pressure off me going after that deal with that person exactly. And now it's almost as if my prospect or my new client has to report to a board that's an ambiguous third party, right? That's why we call it blaming your third party. Use internally your team. And it doesn't matter if you are a one-man solopreneur show. That's okay. Why? because your team could be you as the visionary and the integrator and the doer, but then you might have some influencers, or you might have a board of directors that you go to. They are part of your team. They are part of your judgment. So if you're just a one-man show, this can still work. Don't feel bad about saying this. Just understand that you have to have that, like, who is that confidant that you actually connect with about in your business. And then if you have the third party, use this because it works really, really well. And if that doesn't work, right? So now we expected it on Friday. We connected on Monday saying, hey, I haven't heard from you. Is everything all right? Wait 48 hours. You blame the third party saying, hey, my team had a window for onboarding you and that time has actually run out. Like, when should I tell them to expect you so I can see if I can reopen another window? Then they have to say, okay, figure that out. And then if that one doesn't work, we go to this one, the close the file, close the deal move. So this would be another maybe 2 or 3 days after that blaming your third party move that we use. And then we say something like this. Hey, John, man, I don't know what happened. You seem to have fallen off the earth here. Should I go ahead and close the file on my end, or what would you like to do? Take it away from them. Why? Because people want things they can't have. And if you use this tactic, it's a true tactic, right? Because you don't want to waste your time, and you've already wasted more than a week of your time waiting for this person to make an investment with you, and that sucks. And you don't want to be there, and you don't need to be there as a sales professional. You have rights. You have the ability to say no. You have the choice to tell them, sorry, I'm busy. I got to go find the people that I can serve, and you're not one of them because you're not taking action. And that's fine. That's okay. So just know that you have rights as a sales professional, and you should exercise them when you can. So again, just recapping this, the first one is, the question was, how do you use urgency to make sure a closed deal pays earlier? And the first one is set the accountability calendar. If that doesn't work, all right, so we went through that already. Go back and watch the video. If that one doesn't work, then we blame our team third-party story. And if that doesn't work, ask them to close the file about a week after they said they were supposed to invest, and you've done a number of attempts. This gives you kind of the 3-strike policy, where you get 3 black eyes and you're out, or 3 strikes and you're out, or whatever you're going to call it. And this is how I use urgency in my one-to-one sales conversations, or even one-to-group. Works the same way. So with that said, you've just been tuned up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you next time.